as a pastor and an advocate for those persons who are living in properties that should have been condemned a long time ago. And I'm standing here with the authority of the AME Church, not just St. John, the bishop and the elder, to offer our help to the tenants. We're not advocating for the landlords. They've had these properties and they have proven they can't be trusted. They have proven that they don't care, because if they did, their properties would not look like this. And I know people are saying, well, why do people just leave? Where are they gonna go? Where are they gonna go? And then they're retaliated against if they say anything. And then what happened to the money they paid? Where's the money? Because the properties have not been worked on. And the other thing is this. As you guys know, I used to be a mayor and a council person for 2 terms. I know the law. And I know what fiduciary responsibility is. I know what malfeasance is. I know all of that. So when do we, and I appreciate what y'all did about the cars, but what point do we get when we put our feet to the plow and say that we're going to advocate for the people at large? So we've made some offers, and we have other offers on the board. I will be advocating for the people. I'll be going house to house, knocking on doors. I want to tell you because I'm amenable, and asking them, what do you need and how can we help? I will be passing out so they know what their rights are, because I'm quite sure they do. So I will be passing out literature so they know what their rights are. And then I will be talking to other authorities. I want to let you know that, because we can't let this happen. It's been happening too long. We cannot punish the people for what the landlords and the investors did. And for those who may be asking quietly what are remedies, I have a lot. I have a lot of answers. They're not perfect, but there's a start. And I did offer my help to the councilwoman and to your city administrator. Steve and I know each other by face because we traveled in some of the same arenas. But Mayor, I want to encourage you. And I want to encourage each one of you, because this is not pretty. And if other authorities have to come in, it's going to make it worse. So how do we then come together and do what's right by the people? So like I said, I'm open for any questions later on. My cell phone number is 314-974-4876. And again, the remedies that we're offering, Mayor, I have authority from the AME Church. We're not just trying to put a Band-Aid on anything. You all only heard of one remedy, and we know it takes them to approve that, but we have others. Not trying to help them. We're here to help the people. So if you hear about me walking, knocking on doors, and I also will be conducting tenant meetings at the church and at the community center. And you all, I would love if you guys would come. We'll be showing tenant rights. I think, Steve, if I didn't bring that PowerPoint, because I want nothing hidden. I want you guys to know what I'll be doing.
Pastor, is this the one?
No, there's a PowerPoint, and I'll make sure it's in the car, that will do that. It will actually show the tenants their rights along with the state statutes. We are gonna have legal counsels available, because they're needed, and I would love for you all to attend. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mayor, so at this time we had one other issue that follows on this, and that is we had the request from Riley Cook for improving rental properties, and the council has not brought it before the council to see what the council would like us to do, the staff, in terms of acting on that. And I would like to ask if you would like to have a discussion on that to see if the council would like to take some action on that. It's sitting in front of the council before, and we did not take any action on it. I don't know how you might want to handle that.
How about the memo?
Yes, and what happens is when we did the resolution on the staff execution of ordinance 3099, I should have brought that up at that time, which was the request to improve rental property, which is a follow-on to that ordinance, or that memorandum.
Okay. Part of the conditions of this are the properties in Mr. Cook's name.
Yes, and what happens, just today, we received a document from the recorder that the 97 properties were put in Mr. Cook's name. Those were the 97 that Eddie Flores had. 58 of those properties, though, are still in the name of Mr. Cunningham, and we've not received any information on that. So Eddie Flores still has 58 in his name, and now Riley Cook has 97 in his name.
Okay. That would be up to the council if they want to motion for the discussion of this. You know, do we have a motion for the request from Mr. Cook? We need a motion.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, what does it mean if there is no motion?
That's why it's not approved. The request is not approved. There's no motion. No motion, no business.
Okay. If that's the case, I would like to make a motion to consider the proposal. And I'm sorry, I voted before I understood what the no motion meant.
Well, I'll accept your motion.
Okay.
Do we have a second for this? Second. We have a second now. So now it's time for discussion.
Okay, I have some comments to make, okay? Because I've gone back and forth on this decision all week. The right answer would be no license for someone who has deliberately evaded the law, lied to this council, exploited tenants, and admitted last week he deliberately chose not to bring the properties up to code. I spoke with a Ward 1 resident who will lose his home in 60 days. That was today, and that gentleman is here tonight. Even knowing his own life will be disrupted, he told me, do not give Mr. Cook a license. It has to stop. I talked to the Kennett Housing Authority today. There is no emergency housing in Kennett, Missouri. One of their own employees may have to move out of state because he lives in one of the affected properties. He wants a 4-bedroom unit within the housing authority. There's nothing available. I also learned that families have been on the 2-bedroom wait list there since 2021. This is 2025. There's simply no safety net in Kennett. Earlier today, I was accused of having a bleeding heart. I'm going to get emotional. I'd call it compassion for the tenants, but not for Mr. Cook.
Yes.
He does not deserve it. He's forced this situation and consumed countless city resources. We've spent hours and hours and hours discussing this. And it was unnecessary if he had done what was required by law. So I'm fed up with these games. But when emotions run this high, that's happening right now, I worry that the frustration, like mine, not fairness, is driving the decision. I've been back and forth. Last week is absolutely not. We can't give him a license, but the truth is there's no good solution tonight. The only question is who pays the price, which is what the pastor said, Mr. Cook or his tenants. For that reason alone, I would vote for a provisional license, but only until September 2nd. And then if code enforcement reports that his promises have not been met, let's end it then. The proposal has an agreement, a set number of houses would be brought up to code each month, and that code enforcement would report at every single council meeting on the progress. And there would be zero tolerance beyond this. So if code enforcement reports on Mr. Cook's progress at each meeting, the first time he misses a go, the license should be terminated. It's a last chance. I don't want to do it. I don't want to give him this provision. I don't think it's been earned through trust or anything, but I'm worried about these people. They have no place to go. So that's what I have to say. That's it for my.
We've had 16 months to take care of this problem.
I agree. I agree.
12 days is 12 days too many now.
Yes.
We are 12 days over. And I'm not gonna go for it.
If I can comment on this drive, I don't want to put anybody on the street for it. I blame those that have the rental property, that make it, that rent houses that even animals shouldn't live in. But as a person, by rejecting this proposal, we're putting innocent people on the street.
No, we're not
That's
putting
not
on the
my
street.
job.
The landlord's
I
putting
agree
them on the
with you.
street.
But we're kind of helping the man with by putting them out.
By the law, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
And I feel for those people, don't get me wrong. But they've got to take care of their business, landlords do. That's the only way we're gonna clean up everything.
Exactly.
I'm here to clean up and move forward.
And I'm with you.
And I'm absolutely with you, Mr. Bryant. I just feel like we've waited too long, it's taken too long, we've given breaks. Why not give the guy a chance till September 2nd, the next council meeting, and then if we're not satisfied, done, just done. That's my position.
If I could ask a question, though, you said 2 weeks, and what this proposal says that you would improve 16 in 60 days, so in 2 weeks, that would be 2.
We would see progress. That's the thing, the way I understand the proposal is at every single council meeting, so on September 2nd, you see what progress has been made, okay? And then at the next meeting, whatever is that, 14th, 16th, the 16th of September, whatever, by that point, there should have been 8 done. And just, you know, I just,
I apologize, I missed the last meeting, but I got a question. When was this proposal put into place by Mr. Cook?
Do you have a copy of it in front of you?
No, I do not.
Okay. This was a request to improve rental property submitted to us on the 8th of August. Do you have that copy?
I do have it now. Has anything been done since the 8th? Have you done any changes? Do you have proof of that?
All right,
There's
Mr. Cook, you'll need to come up to the podium.
Does the code enforcement has any proof that he's done something since the 8th?
He didn't own the property. They were just
Or he didn't own the properties?
except today.
Today at 10 o'clock. It was.
Well, that makes things more complicated.
Yes.
One thing, I agree with Lisa 100%, everything she said, except that I would go ahead and go with the 60 days, because 2 properties are probably gonna be easy to find 2 out of 97 to get inspected and passed. And I'm with you, I don't wanna see nobody without the home, but I also don't wanna see people living in places where human beings shouldn't be living. So at that point, if we give him the 60 days, then that's it. No other, but I don't think I'm thinking about the 60 days. I think you can go out there and find 2 houses to get approved pretty quick.
But I think that if we're gonna approve 2 houses, we need to be the ones to pick them out. I'm not gonna go and let him pick one out with a light switch off.
Well,
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta, that's what these inspectors do though. We gotta let them, I mean, I'm just, I'm just giving my opinion. I'm not trying to.
My problem is, why are we changing ownership so quick? Every week, seems like the last meetings that I've missed.
Mr.
The properties is going back and forth.
You explained some of that.
I missed out, that's why I'm following up.
Default payment, basically, right, Mr. Cook? default payment, he took 97 of them back. That's what he's asking now, to take these 97, he's got put his name today. He's asking to give him the 60 days.
But he had 16 months. But he had 16 months. You can come on up if you want.
Be better, I mean, it'll be.
Yeah. Well, have you done anything in the last 16 months to show that you were making progress?
They weren't in my name.
The whole 16 months, they weren't in your name?
On February 3rd, I believe.
That's not that's 16 months was way before that.
We're talking about since May of last year.
Yeah.
May of last year is when we first discussed this. So from May of last year until now, surely those properties were in your name for a good portion of that time.
Yes, from then until February
February.
3rd. or something.
Yeah.
Why would you want to take them back if they're still not livable?
They are.
They are livable.
They do need repairs. I'm sure some of them need repairs.
Have you been in them?
No, I've not been in
Would you
all.
live in them? Would you live in those properties that you're renting out?
No,
The
not,
people with children and families?
Guys, we need to be quiet.
that's a tough question.
Well, it's a simple question. Now, if I was to rent a house, I would be the first one to go in there and make sure it's livable. It meets the standards.
Yes, I would live in any one of my houses.
Okay. I haven't seen your houses, so I'll take your word for it. But based on the inspections, that's not true.
I'm gonna ask you a question I asked you last week. When you take their deposit, you don't go in and look at that house, right? So how do you know if they're gonna get their deposit back if they move?
It was, whenever I rent the house, I offer that if there's anything wrong with the house, if they need to paint, if they need to repair the flooring, if there's any repairs that need to be made, barring something large, the sewer not working, electricity not working, obviously that we're gonna take care of.
You should have been the one going in there to inspect that, not the tenant. The tenant expects a safe place to live. So it's your responsibility to make sure that that house meets those requirements.
It's the law.
Who works on your electricity?
My maintenance man,
Is he licensed?
no, he's not licensed. Does everybody that y'all have work on your house
If you own
licensed?
if you work on your own house, it's a different thing than working on a rent house. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. McVeigh.
It's a whole lot different.
Yeah, so. I mean, we're putting these people in a bad situation because of your actions. All this time, you haven't done anything.
It's not been my actions. I haven't owned these properties for the last 6 months.
Weren't you the
So
property
you
manager?
owned them 10 months before?
You were the property manager, but you're
Yes.
saying it's not your responsibility.
We were, every time somebody called, we were there fixing something.
I think we're going in circles here. You're switching the properties to somebody else's name to avoid taking,
No, that is not true.
okay.
So
The
what
bad
you-
thing here, the bad thing here, you put us in a bad spot.
Yeah,
That's what ticks me off about the whole thing. It makes me mad.
it's all your responsibility and then the tenants are paying the price now.
You put
That
those
is wrong.
people in a bad spot. You took their money. You put us in a bad spot because we don't want to put anybody on the street because of your actions for not keeping your crap up.
And I'm
And
trying,
that, and I can't say what I want to say because we're on camera to give me a bad witness. That ticks me off. How much money do you get a month out of rent?
not enough to pay the bills.
But how much do you charge somebody to live in crap?
It's according to what it
You
is.
charge more than $150 for crap you're charging too much. And that's what ticks me off. And I've got all I'm going to say about it.
Just like I told you that day when we were talking, I asked you, fix your houses for these people. That's all, you know, I mean,
And that's what I'm asking for the chance to do.
if we give you that chance and you don't do it, I'm gonna tell you something, I will never vote for you to get licensed again.
I won't ask for a license again, but I'm not gonna need to.
How many houses are Section 8?
Under 10, I want 5 maybe.
I mean, Mr. Cook, last week during the work session, I just felt like you told us what we wanted to hear. And I just have no trust, but
I'm sorry, and I understand that, I understand none of you have any trust in it. And that's why I am more than willing, I'll give you a daily report. You know, you can have a report every council meeting, and I will keep a daily log of what we have done to show.
I mean, there's your log, and then there's what the code inspection is looking at, and that's what we'll be making decisions on, is
Yes.
based what comes back from code enforcement, not a log, you know,
Okay.
Well,
if we decide.
Let's talk dollars and cents. You just said that you don't have enough money, you're not receiving enough money to fix these houses, so how are you gonna fix them?
I haven't received enough money this month because it's.
No, you said you're not receiving enough money to fix the houses, so how are you gonna fix them?
We'll make it work.
How?
We're
No,
gonna-
we need an answer.
We're gonna collect rent.
No, how are you gonna make it work?
We're gonna collect rent.
You're gonna raise the rent,
No,
the cash flow?
that's not what, no,
Well,
that's not what.
that's gonna create a bigger problem.
So your cash
For all
flow,
your
the
tenants.
rent will make all of these, will pay the mortgage as well as pay for all the repairs,
Yes,
guaranteed.
yes. I put $100,000 job to do this. Yes, it cash flows. It's
We
not,
said
it
cash
is not,
flow,
it
like
is
you
not,
said.
it is not this one.
Do you wish you to cut your job?
No,
If it cash flow, why you just gonna sell them?
I was looking to upgrade properties.
all right,
Nothing makes sense.
you had some properties, you got inspected last week.
Yes.
Can you update us on that situation?
There was, one passed, the other one was inspected on Friday. There were some minor repairs that needed to be done, and they have not been fixed yet. They were gonna be fixed Saturday, but my maintenance man ran into some legal issues.
So we're behind already.
What were those minor issues? Can you explain what those minor issues were?
I would have to look at the paperwork.
Can maybe the,
Chris?
I
Chris?
do not have it with me. I don't,
we're talking about simple things that they're not getting done or major things that they're not getting done?
well, the one I know of is the trash outside at the brush pile.
If I was the landlord, I would pick it up myself and that would solve that problem. You would have a happy tenant then and he would pay his rent and. Did you try to do that? If it was just a bag of trash or
It was
a pile of trash?
It was brush pile in the rear, and he said he was gonna have the tenant do it.
Oh, the tenant do it.
And the
On
ten-
your property, you would make your tenant remove the trash before he moved in there.
It's not trash, it's limbs.
It's a brush pile. He's already living in the unit.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be your tenant's responsibility to clean up your property. It's your business. You're supposed to be proud of your business and provide. If they're paying you rent, you gotta have that responsibility. It's a business. I have business, I get inspected by the health department, the fire department. That's part of the business. You can't just go on and ignore everything and just go there, knock on their door just to collect the rent. That's not running a good business, in my opinion. And it should have not taken that long to get to this point. You should have made that decision a long time ago that you were gonna change things and start working right away. It's taking too long. I mean, we're putting all these people in a bad spot right now because of this. I hate to see somebody moving out of their house, especially if they're paying the rent on time, and they have a deposit, but they gotta have a safe environment, especially if they have kids living in there or regardless. I mean, it's a business. You gotta be, as a business owner, you should have the responsibility to keep them in a safe condition.
Mr. Cook, there's one thing we do need to clarify. During the last several months, were you acting as the agent for Mr. Flores and collecting rent?
Not the whole time, no.
Or some of the time you were doing that?
Yes, some I was, yes.
So did you get your real estate license or broker license?
I'm not sure what relevance that has.
You can't collect rent. If you're managing the property.
I do have my real estate license then.
Okay, all right. Any other questions?
We're in a bad spot. I hate to be in this spot.
Now, just a minute, everybody. We only got the floor.
thing we gotta look at too, I agree 100% with what everything's been said, because there's nothing said that ain't true.
Right.
But
Right.
we got well, I don't know, maybe 50 or 60, I don't know what the number is, out of 97 people we're gonna put out on the street if we don't, in 60 days. 60 days, they're gonna have no utilities. So the only thing, like what Lisa said, if we give him a chance to do this, in 60 days, he ain't done everything he said, then that's the end of it. And then we just put everything off for 60 days. But it might be worth the 60 days to have people not being sitting out with no place to go.
Well, if 16, if it gets only 16 houses done, that's a long way from 97, so that still means there's 80-something out there.
It's just showing he's doing it.
But it would be provisional. I mean, I wouldn't think there's a permanent license until the properties are either all brought up to code or taken out of the rental pool. You know, they can't be fixed.
I mean, there's no good answer. It's sad. It's real sad.
They can't put them out by the law. Missouri state law.
Would it be possible,
Is that something that's pertaining to this?
It is. One second, we need to have a quick discussion on this.
Okay.
I make it up a discussion with what I'm going to say. If I could ask Lisa to withdraw her motion and let's table this to our next council meeting.
Good idea.
That's a good idea.
Okay,
We just found something else out just now that may have a lot to do with it.
They're gonna help it or make it worse?
That's worse stuff.
I'm worried about
Probably
the
make it
tenants.
worse.
I'm worried about the tenants, not the landlords. The landlords had plenty of time to react, but the tenants need to be protected.
Well,
True.
So what do we do with the tenants between now and then? The tenants are still there.
I mean, I hate for the tenants to be in limbo, not knowing what's going to happen, but a deferred decision, you know, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to withdraw my motion and table it, as Mr. Young suggests, until our next meeting, when it sounds like we will have some more information.
Okay, we'll do that.
Mr. Mayor, I'd also like to encourage, if there are people in the community or organizations who, like Pastor Dino, would like to work with her and provide assistance to tenants, I would encourage that, because there have to be people who have other ideas and skills and whatever to help people in this situation. You know, I don't know what kind of help that is, but I can't believe, Kennett has a lot of good people living here. You know, there's close to 10,000 people here, and I can't believe there aren't people who would be willing to help people who are in a situation not of their own making. So, I'll stop.
All right. We will, so we got some new information we need to investigate, look into first. I just want to end our meeting with this, simply, what we're trying to do here, what we've been trying to do the past 16 months, is provide safe, clean housing for our citizens of our community, period. There's nothing in it beside that. From what I've heard from across the city and walking the city and knocking on doors, folks has got holes in the floor.
Yeah.
There are folks that has no hot water running in their house, and the water they do have, some of them are running out underneath the house. The neighbors that have no resolution to this except us, creating this ordinance to protect the neighbors just as much as protect the tenants, protect the rest of the citizens of our town. If you live next to a house, if you own your own house, and I can guarantee homeowners out here, some of you probably cringe when you hear your next door neighbor's house is for sale, because you don't know who's going to buy it, turn it into a rental house that will have a dire consequence on your financial well-being and your quality of life. That's what this is to protect. This is to protect. So the rumor, so the facts are straight. The tenant comes in here, applies for occupancy permit to an address. That tenant is checked to make